Thank you a lot. Thank you very much, Steve. And talk about someone looking forward to a great opportunity. How about this for Steve getting the chance to call these prestigious races?
Yeah, I was up there with him a little earlier. We do the pre-race show, and it was safe to say we both were. It was like, a Game 7 going into the World Series. You're just super pumped up, and it was really exciting. It's certainly something to see. You've been doing this for quite a while, and I can't remember the last time I was nervous, and I was nervous going up there. I'm glad to have a few races under my belt, and, again, the energy is just great to feel. It's something you kind of feed off. Of course, you know that.
That's right. Well, we also have Laura still with us as well. She's getting a chance to spend some time with all the VIPs who are here.
Yeah, we need her job.
Yeah. She's in the tent as well. Laura, take it away.
Yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful tent. So when you have the first ever Breeders' Crown in the state of Indiana, you go all out. And so what we're going to do is take you inside the VIP area. You've got food. You've got a specialty drink. We'll tell you more about that in a little bit. It's wonderful to be here at the first ever Breeders' Crown at Hoosier Park.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. And you can just feel the excitement there just in that tent. I understand that tent is just outstanding there for those VIPs.
Yeah, again, you talk about a tent, and people think a tent, and it is not. You talk about VIPs. That's where I would want to be. If I wasn't working, I'd be in that VIP tent.
Yeah. Emily, when you look at this big event here, the Breeders' Crown, it's more than just an American event. It's an international event as well, right?
It is, and we're super excited. We do have an international feel. We are broadcasting in Australia. We're super fortunate to have Greg Hayes with us tonight. He is part of the Sky Racing broadcast, and he is joining us for the Breeders' Crown. We're going to send it out to Greg.
Thanks, guys. What a fabulous night of racing we've got coming up, and the footprint of the Breeders' Crown just continues to get bigger and bigger. These big races are being beamed into Australia on a Saturday morning for the first time ever. Can't wait for all of the exciting racing action. Great to be a part of it. Back to you.
All right, that is so exciting. Okay, so we've already had some races begun already here at Hoosier Park. So we got 3 races lined up, correct?
Yes, we just had 3. Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the highlights from those races tonight here at Hoosier Park. Take it away, Emily.
The 7th race, this was the $250,000 open mare trot. It was an abbreviated field, AC, but it did not lack in talent. Emoticon Hanover took the lead, and she went on to win. She was a 1-9 favorite, so she was the heavy favorite. And we talk about the sloppy track. Wasn't sure how that was going to affect her, but she did race on a sloppy surface in her last outing. Looked like the 4, Caprice Hill, was going to make a run at her, but Emoticon Hanover was much the best. She scored her 4th consecutive win. That's her 5th seasonal win, and she makes her first Hoosier Park start and just her 2nd Breeders' Crown start. She was victorious in the $250,000 open mare trot. The 8th race is where we saw history happen. We talk about making history happen, and we saw history in the 8th race. First time ever an undefeated filly has won the Breeders' Crown 2-year-old filly trot, and that's what we saw with Manchego. A dominant performance by her. She was pressed from the start, and she still went on to win by open lengths. This is a filly that has already won 11 of her starts. She is now 12 for 12. She is perfect, and again, that has not happened in 33 years of history of the Breeders' Crown events. We have not seen an undefeated filly like this. Trainer Jimmy Takter saying that she is one of the most incredible fillies he has ever trained. Again, you talk about the Breeders' Crown. Manchego is the epitome of the Breeders' Crown. She is a champion of all champions. 9th race then was just saw the 9th race, and it was a very, very contentious field, very competitive field. I wasn't sure where to go. There were a number of horses in there number of fillies that I thought could get the job done. Had a local connection here, the one, Blazing Britches from the Brian Brown barn. And I know you've talked to Trace Teacher. He is our leading driver here at Hoosier Park. He gets the job done for trainer Brian Brown. Now, this filly didn't race well last week, and you can see she was 5-1, so she wasn't necessarily the favorite. People really weren't sure what to make of her, but she turned in a dominant performance. That's another Breeders' Crown victory for the hometown team, Trace Teatrick. So very excited for him. Brian Brown, a great trainer. This filly can sometimes be a little hot, but she was on her game tonight, scoring in 1 at 52-1.
From all 3 of those races right there, what story sticks out to you tonight?
Again, the Manchego, I talk about that, the filly going undefeated. That's the equivalent of somebody capping off their career in just the right fashion, the way that you would want it to happen. And Manchego, again, that's what the Breeders' Crown is all about. We bring these champions out here. It's at the end of the season, too, much like the Super Bowl, much like the season-ending championships. You've had a long season. They've been roughed up a little bit, and this filly just goes on and does what champions do. They win. So, again, that's just a huge performance for me. Again, when these fillies are champions, it's much like anything else. They take hits. People are aiming for them. They want to beat them.
Yeah.
And she took it in stride. And again, just I'm very impressed with her.
And as far as the speeds here and the times here with the conditions right now, how impressed are you what you saw tonight?
I am. You know, the track, again, we talk about the track. A lot of times a heavy rain will actually help the track because it packs it down. But this has been a light, drizzly rain, so it makes the track a little looser. It makes the track a little harder to get over. It's the equivalent of mud, basically. And the times have been relatively solid tonight. So I've been really impressed. The cold temperatures always play a factor. Again, the track, but no rain right now. And again, I expect much the same. We have the best track crew in North America, and they're out there working their tails off for us.
Okay, we talked about it being a packed house here tonight at Hoosier Park. Let's send it back over to Laura Still with more. Laura?
Well, the VIP tent, even though it may be dreary outside, is nice and cozy and warm. They've got food, they've got beverages, and everybody's ready for a good time tonight. Even chandeliers, there's jewelry, you've got your bars, and people are having a good time here in this tent. And sometimes a good time means a beverage. We are joined by David Doyle of Hoosier Park. Now, there is a special drink tonight for the Breeders' Crown. Tell me about the Mr. 46.
Well, the Mr. 46 is named after Always Be Mickey. He was a world championship horse that set the pace with a 1.46 world record holding mile. The drink is made with Maker's Mark 46, ginger beer, and a peach syrup, garnished with a little bit of mint, and it is refreshing and fantastic.
You got to throw that mint in there,
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And Maker's Mark, it's made with Maker's Mark. They're obviously here along with everybody that's enjoying the evening tonight. What's on the menu for food? I understand eating, you have to have a meal. What's out there on the menu for food?
Right now we've got a chicken, we have a pork loin, and we also have some pasta on the menu as well.
All right, so we have a drink. We have a beverage here. It is the Mr. 46. And I thought, well, seeing that I'm here at the first ever Breeders' Crown in the state of Indiana, I think I must try it out.
Absolutely.
May I?
You have to.
Cheers. That is very good. Here's to racing.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. Take it easy there, Laura, though.
We need
Take it
one of
easy.
those.
yeah.
I need to get
wouldn't be
warmed
bad,
up.
Right. Hey, we got much more with you. You're going to stay with us a little bit later here, right?
We do. I'll be in the winner's circle. I'll be talking to all
Okay.
the winners. So I'll be around. I'll be here. I want to thank everybody for having me. You're in for a treat tonight.
Yeah.
You've got Greg Hayes. You've got
Yeah.
Peter Lurie. You're in for a treat.
It's going to be fun. Always a pleasure seeing Emily. We're going to take a timeout, folks. Much more live coverage coming up from Anderson, Indiana, here at Hoosier Park. When we come back, we're going to find out just how international the Breeders' Crown has become, and we'll have our first full race of the evening. The 3-year Philly Trot is coming up here on Wish TV.
I like it, not just that the Medlands and Woodbine have the British Crown. It's nice to see it in other spots, see it where, other people can have an opportunity to see great horses. See these kind of horses, that's is special.
We are back here live at Hoosier Park. Breeders' Crown coverage right here on Wish TV. Anthony Calhoun here, along with going to welcome in from Sky Racing, Race analyst here with us tonight, Greg Hayes. Greg, thank you for joining us here on the broadcast, and welcome to America, my friend from Australia. And what a night here at Hoosier Park, and what an event, the Breeders' Crown.
Oh, fantastic night of racing. A little bit cold compared to back home in Australia. We're looking at a temperature on Monday of somewhere about 90 degrees, so it is very cold, but some of the performances here tonight have been outstanding. The people in Australia think so much of this meeting that it is the first time that we've seen harness racing on a Saturday morning coming in from North America. That is what the Australian people think of this race meeting.
That is amazing. And as far as it being an international sport, how long has that been as far as, when you think about this Breeders' Crown here, when did it start to really build internationally, would you say?
I would say in the last 10 or 15 years, we've seen some very nice horses. And when you get those horses that become stallions and go on, they can have a career in Australia as a stallion, and that is where people can make the big money.
Okay, you ready for this race coming up?
Looking forward. I really like this filly, Ariana G. She's an absolute star.
Okay, here we go now. Time now for the post parade.
It's Ariana G. Known by Marvin Katz of Toronto, Al Libfeld of Pickerington, Ontario, Jimmy Takter trains, Yannick Gingras aboard. The 9 Fine-Tuned Lady, owned by William Wiswell of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, Amanel of Delaware. John Boutenshane trains, Corey Callahan drives. And the 10 is Ice Attraction, owned by Oki Svanstead. Sipple, Mal and Janet Burrows, and Little of New York. Oki Svanstead trains and drives. That's the field for the 2017 Breeders' Crown Trio Filly Trot, sponsored by Kentuckiana Farms, breeding and siring the best. Exacta, trifecta, superfecta, pick 5 wagering.
Okay, Greg, so when you look at that field right there, what is so special about this field?
Ariana G, she's a very talented filly, and she stands above the rest of these. She has been so good as a 2-year-old. She won the Breeders' Crown 12 months ago, and she's had 25 starts. She's won 20 of them. The only little query, she has been defeated here at Hoosier Park in the past. But if she handles the track tonight, and obviously the conditions, because we've got a wet track, then she should be winning this, and she could be the horse of the year.
Okay, in 2016, the Breeders' Crown winner was Ariana G. As you mentioned, she's trained by Jimmy Takter.
Come on, Carol. Undescribable, goosebumps, awesome. I might not be able to sleep tonight, but you know what?
Well, she's a top horse. I mean, she's been absolutely marvelous filly this year, and actually last year also. So now she's a little queen. She's second on the list of horse of the year, and if she wins this, she have a very good chance to be the horse of the year and trotter of the year. And she have so much on the credential, but of course it's nice to take this gap. She won it last year, and nice to do a repeat from 2 to 3. That's always a nice accomplishment.
So just like you just said right there, big expectations for this horse tonight.
Yeah, and look, she has drawn wide on the track, but I don't think that's going to be a concern, because she can stay out of trouble in the early stages. She can get into a gate, get comfortable, and then Yannick Gingras, her driver, can look to be aggressive and work forward. She doesn't have to find the front. She can race from off the speed, but her talent will take her a long way here.
So you have a horse here that's got so much talent. What is the pressure like for that driver there with that horse?
Oh, there'd be pressure, and Yannick has already had some success on this evening. He's already driven a Breeders' Crown winner, so that would have put a few of the butterflies away. But when you're driving a filly that everyone is tuning in to watch,
That's right.
It comes with that added pressure, and there'd be a lot of expectations. You want to make sure she gets into a rhythm in the early stages.
Yeah, and a lot on the line in this race here. $500,000 purse for this race.
Exactly right. Some $6 million over the carnival. Just fantastic money, and the money that we'd love to see in Australia. We don't race for that sort of money, but very exciting, very, very big purses.
When you look at Ariana, and if she can come away with this victory tonight, this win, what would that put her as far as what she's been able to do over the years?
Look, if she can win tonight, then she's right in the mix for being named Horse of the Year. There's a couple of other horses that would be right in there, including Hannelore Hanover, who will go around tomorrow night against the boys. But if she can win tonight, then she becomes one of two, maybe three, that the people are saying can get Horse of the Year here in America.
Okay, 3-year-old fillies in action here at Hoosier Park here, and anybody else we should keep our eye on in this race?
Oh, look, of the rest, Overdraft Volo was the horse that won the elimination last week, did a good job on that occasion, but look, you put Ariana G, you're putting the #1 seed into the race, and she's so much better than her rivals. Really, the only thing that can get a beat here is if she does something wrong.
Yeah, and we were talking to Emily at the beginning of our broadcast just about the weather conditions right now and that track out there. How concerning is it for these horses here?
I think there is a concern because of the rain, the amount of rain we've had. Look, the track manager made sure with the rain that was predicted that he kept that in mind when he was getting the track ready for tonight's meeting. But the good thing about it, it has raced fairly. The horses that are up front are able to get to the finish. I think everything plays into the hands here of Ariana G.
Yeah, Ariana G. And so she has been in your eye for a while now, right?
Well, when I knew that I was coming across to watch this race meeting, both the two nights, I thought there's one horse I want to see, and that is this star filly, Ariana G. We've read so much about her in Australia, but to get to see her in the flesh is something really, really special.
Well, how about that? So here we go. We're getting ready here for the 3-year-old fillies race coming up right here on Wish TV. $500,000 on the line here in this race here at Hoosier Park. Anything else we should keep our eye on before we get started?
Yeah, keep an eye out on the 5 Overdraft Volo, and I think #4 Dream Together made a mistake in the early stages of the elimination last week, but made up a lot of ground late. So keep your eye on #4 Dream Together if it does everything right.
Anybody else?
#7 That's All Money's a stablemate of Ariana G, horse #7, and it was a horse that they took a bye. They opted not to go around in the elimination, and it's one that would have to be considered a chance, and has got the star driver in Tim Tetrick doing the driving. So #7 That's All Money's another one you'd have to consider.
But we know tonight you got your money on Ariana G, right?
I just love this is what tonight is all about, seeing this filly go round.
All right, so here we go. We're going to get ready to send it over to Steve Cross, who has the pleasure of calling this race here tonight. 3-year-old fillies, $500,000 up for grabs is the purse for this race here tonight. Let's listen in to Steve Cross.
Roll here, as you can see, again, $500,000 on the line. 3-year-old fillies going in the Breeders' Crown Trot. The 1-5 favorite, as expected, the 8, Ariana G. Steve Cross with the call. Steve, it's all yours.
3-year-old trotting fillies lining up, moving in. Field of 10, a $500,000 purse. Mid-stretch. Here they come. And they're off and trotting, a good even start here. First away for the lead, it's checkmate time. Alongside Dream Together, and from between horses, Overdraft of Volo to the outside, it's Ariana G. Dream Baby Dream down to the inside 5th as Fine Tune Lady angles in 6th. Inside racing in 7th, Sunshine Delight. Racing 8th then, it's Ice Attraction as they race over to the first quarter-mile marker, 27-1, tightly packed here. The early trailer as they make the turn, That's All Money. Up front, battling for the lead here, it's Overdraft of Volo. Overdraft Volo cannot clear checkmate time, who's going to play a little hardball here. Meantime, Ariana G is sent on her way now as she throttles up, going in for the lead. So there goes Ariana G and Gingras up to engage the leader, Overdraft Volo, as they arrive at the halfway point. 55-3. Ariana G has just now made the front. Overdraft of Volo to the inside, now racing in 2nd, and moving to the outside 3rd comes Dream Together, down to the inside 4th, checkmate time. Moving 5th on the outside, it's Fine Tuned Lady. Dream Baby Dream is buried on the inside. Sunshine Delight using the outer flow here. Ice Attraction is 9th. Highland Top Hill dead last to the inside. Rough gated there, looking for racing room as they trot to 3/4. 124-4. They're in the stretch. And as they race for home, it's all Ariana G. She's out by 4 lengths. Overdraft Volo is the best of the rest then. And to the inside as they move midway through the stretch, Dream Together, but it's Ariana G. Ariana G, 5 lengths to the good here. Ariana G, then it's Dream Together, and charging late on the outside comes Ice Attraction from far back. It's Ariana G. Ariana G wins the Breeders' Crown in 154.3. Ice Attraction was second, Dream Together third.
So, as you called it, my friend Greg, Ariana G, dominating performance here tonight at Hoosier Park.
There's some occasions you sit and you watch a race and it just lifts the hair on the back of your neck. That was impressive. That was so fast compared to the trotting gait is slower than the pacing gait, but they went through that first half faster than the 3-year-old pacing fillies. That was a really impressive display because they made her work, they made her earn it.
So that grabbed your attention, what you saw right there.
Oh, yeah, and she gapped them. She was forced to work so hard, yet when she turned for home, she just had that extra acceleration. She was able to get away from them and put the race beyond doubt halfway up the straight.
Yeah, we saw the start of the race. She was a little slow, but is that her type of race style? And then as far as, is that how she likes to race, and that's how the driver guides her at times?
I would think Yannick was just keeping her confident, just keeping her balance, getting her into that first corner, because there was a little bit of speed underneath her. They forced her to work in the early stages, and then all of a sudden when Checkmate Time wanted to kick up and hold the front, it made it a little bit difficult, but Yannick Gingras, he knew he had a horse with an engine inside and was just able to drive it to the front.
So put in perspective for the folks at home watching, that race that we just saw right there from that horse there, how impressive was that performance that we just witnessed?
In the conditions that we've got tonight, you won't get a more impressive performance. And if you look back on her career, that would be in the top 3 performances that she's ever put in. She has just destroyed that field, and she was forced to earn it. It was an absolute cracking Breeders' Crown final.
Wow, very impressive. Our Peter Lorre, we hope to have an interview coming up with the driver coming up here on Wish TV moments from now. But overall, your thoughts on what else you saw in that field there?
Very good performance by the second filly, Ice Attraction, made up a lot of ground late. Obviously, they were running some very fast sectionals through the early stages, so a couple of the fillies who were coming from the tail of the field were able to make up ground. And Dream Together, who did do things wrong in the elimination last week, consented to trot right throughout this week and was very good in running third.
Yeah, and so how much of a challenge is it for a driver to keep your horse at that speed and being that consistent and having that pace that horse had from the rest of the field? How challenging is that?
Oh, no doubt. In the back of Yannick's mind, he would have been thinking, just get through the gears here, make sure she does everything right, holding her together, keeping her balanced. But when you're driving superstars like this, it makes your job a little bit easier. And I think that performance would have allowed Yannick to enjoy the last couple of 100 metres of that race because she was doing it so comfortably.
Yeah. So Ariana G, the winner here in this 3-year-old fillies race here at Hoosier Park. And this is what's so special about the Breeders' Crown, because you're seeing the best of the best, right?
Exactly right. It's like the Super Bowl. It's like the Grand Slams in the tennis. The best horses turn up, and it's great when the best horses win, and that's exactly what we've seen tonight.
Take another look here at the winner there, Ariana G. Anything else can you help us out here, the folks at home, just more information about this horse and just how fantastic this horse has been over the years?
She was really good when she first came on the scene. She had 11 starts as a 2-year-old. She won 9 of those. She was beaten on a couple of occasions. She's then, as a 3-year-old, sometimes dominant fillies can take a little bit of time or maybe level off and the opposition catch up to her or catch up to them as 3-year-olds. But that wasn't the case with this girl. She just went to another level again and just proved just how good she is.
And as far as the driver of that horse there, when you're dealing with conditions like this, how do you get your horse ready to go when there's a change of the climate, if you will? I mean, we saw a couple of days ago, weather's really cool here, pretty nice. Today, a lot of rain, temperatures, in the 40s right now. I mean, how do you get your horse ready to go?
It would have been concerning for Connections because they would have had to have consider the conditions they were going to get tonight. The fact that the track was going to be a little bit rain affected. And so then it goes back on the trainer. Do we change the way she wears her shoes? And Jimmy Tactor, who is the trainer of this filly, He is an absolute master, star trainer, and, well, whether he changed anything or not, it doesn't matter because she just won so far.
She was outstanding tonight. $500,000, the winning purse there in this race here, the 3-year-old fillies here at the Hoosier Park, and we are waiting to hear from Peter Lorre, who is going to connect there with the winning driver coming up moments here. We'll have that for you here on Wish TV. And as you mentioned, Ariana G getting the job done, doing what she does so well, and you say by winning this race, contender to the horse of the year,
for sure,
without a doubt.
For sure and certain. We saw Manchego win an earlier race. She would be in contention as well. She's undefeated after 12 starts, but she'd be one of 3 or 4 horses now that would be in contention for that. Keep in mind, people at home, they've just won a lot of money there with that filly. She's won $250,000. Wow. She's now won $1.8 million in her career.
That's unbelievable. That is,
fantastic money. She's only had the 26 starts, but she's won nearly $2 million.
And you came all the way from Australia just to see this horse.
Just to watch her.
Yeah. And folks back in Australia loving this moment right now?
Exactly right. We would be bringing that race in live right across Australia. It's obviously early Saturday morning in Australia, getting towards lunchtime, and a lot of people would already be in the betting shops just to watch her go around.
Wow. She got a payday today because the night belonged to Ariana G here, getting it done here at Hoosier Park, part of the Breeders' Crown, as you mentioned here, most likely horse of the year for sure.
Yeah, there's like obviously the 2-year-old trotting filly who was very impressive earlier tonight, and Hannah Hanover is another one that will race tomorrow night that could be in contention if it was able to win. But look, she has just been so good, Ariana G. Beaten at her last start going into tonight. That probably played a little bit into Connection's mind. Did they have her 100%? But the 3 weeks between races, no problems whatsoever.
All right, she's coming right behind us here, and man, what a performance here tonight, and we are waiting to hear from Peter Lorre, who is going to join us with the winning driver coming up here on Wish TV. You know, you just look around this atmosphere and just the surroundings here. I mean, you can tell this is a big event. I mean, this is like the Super Bowl for harness racing, and not only that though, we talk about the just the fans here, but we know it's the best of the best when it comes to these horses.
Exactly right, and not only is there interest from down under, Australia and New Zealand who'd be tuning in to watch this, the Europeans would be watching this as well and having a look at the champions. Obviously, in Europe, the main gate is the trot, so they would be very excited, the Europeans, to see a filly like Ariana G dominating like she has, because they would be sitting up and watching and saying, wow, the Americans have got a really good one over there.
Yeah. And as far as, give me your perspective on Hoosier Park here. What do you think about this facility here and just the job they've been able to do over the years? And I know this is one they've been really waiting for, to be able to host the Breeders' Crown.
The facilities here are first class, and the team behind Hoosier Park do a fantastic job to think what has had to go in to make sure these couple of weeks have been a success, culminating in tonight and tomorrow night. And unfortunately, the weather hasn't played the game, but what the crowd and the atmosphere.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it from the crowd.
Exactly,
right. The place is packed here.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. But you understand the type of level of competition it is when it comes to this harness racing here. I mean, it's the best in the world.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you're racing the best. You've got the best stallions, the best broodmares, and we're seeing that with performances like that.
All right, so here we go. We saw your horse get the job done. Listen to this guy right here. Greg knows what he's talking about, everybody, because he was right here on Ariana G here tonight in that 3-year-old fillies race here at Hoosier Park. Okay, so now I understand Peter Lorre is standing by. Peter, take it away. All right, so we hope to get to Peter moments from now. There's a lot of action going on down there in that winner's circle, if you will.
I did see Yannick Ingra, the driver of the horse. He came back. He looked like he had a mud mask on his face.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
it's very muddy out there, very sloppy.
Let's go trackside once again. Peter Lorre with Jimmy Tactor and Marvin Katz.
Here we go.
Wow, it's only one night, and already we've seen some amazing stories. Ariana G back to her dominance. Jimmy Tactor, the trainer. Jimmy, you were holding that trophy over your head. I could see a grin in ear to ear. This one's particularly special. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's always special. I mean, she really don't like this kind of weather and wet track. I mean, we saw that in Lexington, and, it was very tiring. I mean, it was kind of crazy driven up front, I mean, So she had to work hard. I mean, she got a little tired at the end there. I mean, she got leg tired, and it looked like all field did actually.
As far as her is concerned, at what point this week did you start saying she's back, or was there ever a concern?
No, it was not a concern. I mean, Lexington for the futurity day was it was borderline. We should have raced. I mean, it was very, very tiring, and she got beat by a nosel head there, you know. But she's just a wonderful horse.
Jimmy, let's call it what it is. These animals are your children in a sense. She was a Breeders' Crown winner last year. She's a Breeders' Crown winner this year. What's going through your mind?
Well, you know, I mean, when you're being with this, I trained a mother, and you know, when you take these horses from beginning and teach them everything they supposed to do, and standing here, that's special moments for me. I mean, we spend so much time with these horses, and it's just a fantastic feeling.
Marvin Katz, obviously, this has to be a special moment for you, but I do want to say you were making it such a point to say, forget me, it's this guy, he deserves it. How gratifying is it to be in a partnership like this, as it were?
This isn't a partnership, this is a friendship, which is even far more deep and meaningful to me, and I hope to Jimmy as well. We've known each other many years. This is a fantastic man. He's at the pinnacle of his sport and richly deserves all the acclaim and accolades he gets. People have to understand how difficult it is to do what he does, and to do it year in and year out. It's not easy. And this is a special, special man. Deserves all the acclaim and accolades he gets, and more so.
Marvin, let's not mince words.
All right,
you spent
thank you
a lot
so
of
much,
money.
Peter, and you heard Peter say it right there. I mean, just what a wonderful job as that driver there did tonight.
Yeah, exactly right. And Jimmy Tactor, the trainer, you don't see him get emotional too often, but he got very emotional there. He was very happy with the performance, but I think that meant a lot to him. He's won a lot of Breeders' Crowns in the past, but that one's pretty special. And interesting to note that it's been a long season for her. You know, it's been a tough year, but she's still going, and importantly, she got the big one tonight.
Yeah, he understands the significance of that win here tonight at Hoosier Park. Greg, what a pleasure, my friend. Great having you part of our broadcast team. Of course, you'll be with us tomorrow night as well here on the Wish TV. Okay, we're going to check back in with our very own Laura Steele. Laura.
Well, you know, it's very important to have friendship, to also have winners, but family is important out here. How about the Tetrick family? A father and 3 sons. They're very well respected in harness racing, and they are great ambassadors for the sport. Let's meet the Tetrick family.
Someone asked me the other day, said, are you going to have any horses in the Breeders' Crown? Well, we never have had that quality of horse, to be honest with you, but we'll have 2 sons that'll be able to participate there, so that's pretty special.
It'd be really neat if my oldest brother, Tom T., you know, he had one in it.
It was a family business all along. My dad and mom, they started from scratch and, you know, put us 3 kids through school. They worked very hard, and, you know, they always own their own horses and race raceway horses. And, you know, me and Trace, we've been very fortunate enough to become catch drivers and, you know, make a good living at something that we love to do.
You couldn't be any prouder. We have 3 sons. Tom is our oldest, and he does a lot of training and drives too. Does a pretty darn good job. But so much of the time he gets compared to Trace and Tim, who you know, are at the very top of the game. Throughout the year, this year, Tim has been the 2nd leading money-winning driver in North America. Trace has been the 2nd leading dash-winning driver in North America. That's a pretty tough nut to crack, you know, when you get to that level.
It's a great opportunity to race with my brother Tim.
You know, we've already raced a few eliminations together, and, you know, he's got a lot of power also that a lot of people support his program here. And, you know, hopefully we both have some shots and we can both win some races.
What was unique about one opportunity we had here, we raced together and we dead heated.
It was one of those deals where it just worked out perfect, and me and Trace, we fought to the wire, and we had a tie.
And that was by one of the horses my brother did train, and a good buddy of ours that owned the other horse.
That was a mare that I had, that Timmy came in. Trace had driven another one in that race, and the night that Timmy drove my mare and they got up, it worked out good that it was they both finished at the same time.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. We appreciate that. We are welcome now here. I'd like to welcome to our broadcast here tonight here at the Breeders' Crown, John Campbell. He is the all-time leading money winner when it comes to drivers of all time, over $300 million in purse winning earnings. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you being here on our broadcast here on Wish TV. And first things first, welcome to Anderson, Indiana. What do you think about the Breeders' Crown here?
It's just great. This is the best horses and racing that harness racing has to offer. And to bring it to the Midwest, and especially here at Hoosier Park, it's really working out just tremendous from our standpoint. The team here at Hoosier has just treated everyone so well, and they put so much preparation in. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate, but the show's going on, and these horses and drivers are putting on a great show.
Of course, he's a part of the Hall of Fame, and so you have a good feel, a good pulse of harness racing, obviously, and the Breeders' Crown. And when you talk about the folks here at Hoosier Park, put in perspective for the folks at home, just what does it take to put on an event like this?
Well, this has been 3 years in planning, and the planning and preparation that the Hoosier Park team has put on is unparalleled in our sport. They just left no stone unturned, whether it be for the horsemen or the fans. Just the racing is the top notch, and they're so proud to bring these championship horses here to the Midwest.
You know, what has impressed you the most so far, what you've seen in some of these races out here tonight?
Well, a couple of favorites have won, but they've had to work for it. I mean, it's a different track bias with the rain. It makes it harder on these horses. They're not finishing their last quarters like they normally would. The races have been exciting, that's one thing, although we still have had some favorites win, but they're just great horses that have won. And the bet, they've been betting on these races. The bet has been up significantly to what you would normally get on a regular card here at Hoosier.
And the good news is we still have more great racing coming up here tonight, and then of course tomorrow as well. So.
Yes, we got 8 more, and you know, there's just so many exciting races and so many storylines with some of these horses.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. The Hall of Famer right here. We appreciate you joining us here on our broadcast. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick time out. Don't go anywhere. We got much more racing coming your way. The Breeders' Crown, live from Anderson, Indiana, here at Hoosier Park. More coverage coming up after this.
Well, the horses that we're going to see here is the best of the best. They have withstood the year-long racing, that the torturedness that they've had, big miles, and you know, this is where the champions are crowned. You know, that's why I call it Breeders' Crown, and there's going to be some great racing and great drivers, and it'll be a lot of good competition.
It's actually 45. You got 15 minutes.
I know, yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3. That's okay.
Okay. We're back here live at Hoosier Park. What are the Breeders' Crown here on Wish TV? Anthony Calhoun, we'd like to welcome in now. Our race analyst here, good friend here, Peter Laurie, great senior as always, my friend. And man, what a night of racing here we've had here at Hoosier Park, and now we're getting ready for another big one here tonight, right?
Yeah, you know, it's been tremendous tonight. I mean, we've had so many great stories, so many great races. I'm sure you've seen, as well as the audience on Wish TV, have seen that we've had some very emotional speeches by the owners and the trainers, but this is what standardbreds are all about. It's a family affair right from the beginning. I think Marvin Katz said it best, AC. He said point blank, this is not a man that I work with. This is not a friend. This is not a partner. This is a friend friendship, and that's what really sums up standardbred racing.
All right, so coming up here, we got the 2-year-old filly Pace getting ready to take place here at Hoosier Park. Who should we keep our eye on? What horse should we watch tonight?
Well, I think You Are My Candy Girl at 3 to 5 is the obvious choice here for the Ron Burke barn. Burke is one of the all-time winningest trainer in history of standardbreds, over 8,000. We'll get to that in a minute. This is the one, Rain on Me. Brian Sears driving for Nifty Norman. This one, a 151 last time out. More importantly, AC, in the elimination, came home the final quarter in 26-3. That is flying.
All right, who else should we keep our eye on?
2 horse, Come See the Show. 21 to 1 in that 12 to 1 shot. Tim Tetrick, the brother of Trace, one of the all-time tops right now in the country. The 3 horse will be Rainbow Room. This is the one you got to look out for, although it's not getting the lion's share of the wagering at 5 to 2 for Joe Holloway, a big winner last time out in a 152-3 on October 20th. The 4 horse, this is the one I got to put on top. Okay. You Are My Candy Girl, as we mentioned, has won 10 Breeders' Cup races, the Burke barn. This one is currently on a 3-race win streak, likes to get out, likes to air it out, and that's what's going to make this one dangerous.
And this race, we have big money on the line. $600,000 purse in this race.
No question about it. We've got horses coming from all over North America. I'm With Her, the 6. Paul McDonnell, the Mohawk Invader. Not a great trip last time out, but they get into the final. 30 to 1 on the line. Will go higher. 86 to 1. Strong Opinion, the 7. Matt Kakaley for Ron Burke. Burke, you know, is going to have a lot of horses in the race. Firestorm, Scott Zeron, another of the Mohawk of the Canada connections coming in here. This horse likes to run second, or I should say race second a lot. The 9 horse, not a great spot for Pueblo Blue Chip for David Minari. This horse was a 4th place finish, also coming in from our friends over in Canada. Rounding out the field from the 2nd spot, about to come in the picture, that's Rock On Ladies. Trent Stoller, the trainer. This is a guy, he's a longtime member of the Anderson, Indiana family. He has had horses here for years. He's a very good horseman. He told me if he hits the board, he will be exceptionally happy with this one.
Okay, and is there one horse that we should keep our eye on that could be the dark horse here?
As far as the dark horse is concerned, AC, it's tough for me in this one because it just looks so obvious. You Are My Candy Girl, I think, is going to be the one that sets the early pace. Then you've got Rainbow Room. Rainbow Room, though, has in past been able to go on the lead, but I don't think it's in their best interest. If these 2 knock hold, then you're looking for somebody who comes home extremely fast. Otherwise, we're thinking that it's probably going to be one up front.
You've been around the racing business for, over 30 years in your career, and to have an event like this here at Hoosier Park and these level of horses, how special is it?
All of the horsemen have said the same thing coming from out of town. It is refreshing to be somewhere with a company that really cares about racing.
Okay, you ready to get going?
Yeah, we're ready to get going.
Let's get ready for this race here. Let's send it out to Steve Cross, who has the call on this race.
Best of luck. They're turning into line. We'll send it up to Steve Cross for the call.
2-year-old pacing fillies lining up, moving in. 600,000 on the line here. Breeders' Crown, sponsored by Scientific Games. Field of 10 at the top of the stretch. All set. And they're off and pacing. And Rain on Me from the inside is away well. Rainbow Room fires hard for the lead. You Are My Candy Girl there to her outside. Come See the Show comes away 4th. Rock On Ladies sliding through 5th. As Major Special Lady drops in 6th. I'm With Her will follow 7th. Strong Opinion next in 8th. Then it's Firestorm and Pueblo Blue Chip at the back of the pack as they line up into the first turn, reaching the quarter-mile marker 27-1. And Jingra has the 4. You Are My Candy Girl in the clear, leading in length. Rainbow Room of the inside will follow along in the pocket seat in 2nd. Rain on Me is next in 3rd. Another length and a half, 2. Come See the Show is 4th. 5th to the inside, Rock On Ladies as they race over towards the half. 6th to the inside, Major's Special Lady, and I'm With Her follows. Strong Opinion, 3rd last. So they come to the half, 56-3, an eventful mile thus far here as You Are My Candy Girl races unchallenged on the lead. Rainbow Room continues to wait. Rain on Me right there in the hunt is third. She's about 3.5 lengths now from the leader. Pace begins to quicken now as Major Special Lady is first to launch the attack, first over fourth. I'm With Her follows. Come See the Show, locked and shuffled, followed by Rock on Ladies. To her outside, it's Strong Opinion. They arrive at 3/4. You Are My Candy Girl. 1:25 and 2 past 3/4. You Are My Candy Girl, a length and a half. Rainbow Room setting chase in second. To the outside, Major Special Lady. You Are My Candy Girl, strong to the lead, beginning to inch away. You Are My Candy Girl by 2.5. Down to the inside, slipping on through its Major Special Lady. Rainbow Room to the outside. It's You Are My Candy Girl and Jingra, winning the Breeders' Crown in 1:53.2. Major Special Lady's second. Rainbow Room was third.
So You Are My Candy Girl is the winner of this 2-year-old fillies race. $600,000 the purse for this race.
Don't say I didn't give you a big one at 2 to 5.
That's right, yeah, right.
Yannick Gingras, third winner on the night for the Breeders' Crown alone. As I mentioned before, wow. Ron Burke's barn has won 10 Breeders' Crown races. Most recently, Hanover last year, who, by the way, tomorrow when you and I are on, are going to be taking on the boys with, I believe, Horse of the Year implications on the line. But let's get to this one. It was an uneventful first quarter. It was an uneventful first half. Taking off my glasses, thank you. First half, they got the race exactly what they wanted. But what's important is when you get out like that and you have no competition, it's always been said in thoroughbreds as well as standardbreds, it's one thing to go fast when you have somebody next to you. It's another thing to go fast when you're all by yourself. And that, my friends, is what happened in that race.
Take a look at some more of the action here. You were talking to me about how this was an easy early half,
yeah,
right?
56-3 for this caliber of horses. You would expect them to go a little bit faster. When I saw 27-1 for the first quarter, I was thinking more like 26. Granted, we've got rain, we've had a wet track, it's a sloppy track, it could even be a tiring track, but personally, I think it's been picking up ever since the rain stopped.
All right, and as far as the track conditions and the speeds you saw here tonight in this race here, overall, your take?
Legitimate times.
Legitimate times.
Considering the track, legitimate times. And remember, folks, this is only the first night of 2 nights. Tomorrow is the boys' turn, with the lone exception of Hanover will be taking on the boys. So again, if there's no rain, granted it's really cold, and that's the only factor. I don't know how much the track is going to dry out. Gary Wolf, who is the track superintendent, this is his 7th Breeders' Crown as a track superintendent. He came out and said, unfortunately, because it's going to be cold, they're just going to have to see what they can do to get the moisture out of the track for tomorrow, but I'm confident
you feel good about the situation, though.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, You Are My Candy Girl is the winner of the 2-year-old fillies $600,000 purse for getting it done here tonight. Any other horses stand out to you what you saw in this race just moments ago?
Well, you know, like I said, it was so tough to look away from her. I thought the 5-horse Major Special Lady, that was a big effort to be second. Again, Ron Burke goes 1-2 with his horses. In the thoroughbred world, there was a trainer named Charlie Whittingham who was one of the greats of all time. He was named the Bald Eagle, and he was known for these giant races going 1, 2, 3 with his horses. The only thing I always think you have to do when you're that way is you got to congratulate one owner and the other one say, we tried our best.
That's right. That's right. Emily Gaskin is going to join us with the winning driver coming up moments from now. But you know, we were just touching on the fact here tonight just how this event, the Breeders' Crown, and just all the big-time horses that are here in Central Indiana, and just like we mentioned, you've been out racing for a long, long time. How special is it, though, to have this event here in Anderson and just knowing the level of competition we're seeing here tonight and tomorrow night as well?
Well, first off the bat, it's historic. It's never been done before. It's been decades since it was even in the Midwest, but this is the first time in the 34-year history. And from the horsemen that I came in contact from out of the state, out of the country, they've all said, and I'm not exaggerating, this is one of the best Breeders' Crowns they've already ever been to.
Really?
And we're only in the first night.
Well, that's amazing. So could we see this event back here next year?
Well, next year, no, because it's already been promised to Mohegan Sun and Pocono. Yeah. But don't be surprised in the coming years.
In the future, that is.
In the coming years, I would think it would be silly not to have Centaur Gaming's Hoosier Park in the forefront as far as the rotation, as it were, going to maybe 2 or 3 and just going back and forth.
Okay, and let's talk about race 12 coming up here at Hoosier Park as well. Of course, we're going to be ending our broadcast soon, but we're going to have the results for the folks interested, of course, coming up on Wish TV on News 8 at 10 o'clock. But give us your thoughts on the 12th race coming up.
Husband and wife team Nancy and Marcus Johansson have a horse by the name of Darlin on the Beach. 3-1 on the morning line. I love this horse tonight. I think it just sets up a perfect race. Last time out in the eliminations, really just the easiest way to say it is dominated. Set in the pocket trip, was able to go out and made it quite easy. Talk with Marcus Johansson earlier tonight on the broadcast. Had a chance to catch up with him. I asked him about that very point. He said this horse has been training tremendous. More importantly, has learned to relax here. And in these kind of races, AC, that's what you worry about. It's like anything. A professional athlete, we see it everywhere. Yeah. You don't want them gripping going into the biggest event of their life. You want them to come in relaxed, loose, kidding around, having some fun, and that's what they're seeing from this one.
Of course, we're going to be right here on Wish TV coming up tomorrow. Our live broadcast starts at 9 o'clock. We'll go all the way from 9 to 10. What can we look forward to tomorrow with our broadcast?
Well, today it was the ladies. Tomorrow it is going to be the boys, and we're going to see some very, very tough competition. But again, let me emphasize, one of the true queens of the sport, Hannelore Hanover, will be taking on the boys, and if she wins, I believe the horse of the year is on the line.
Okay, I think we're getting ready to hear from Emily now with the winning driver. Let's head down to Emily.
For the champion, you are my candy girl. Let's go trackside to the winner's circle.
Standing by with the winning driver, Yannick Gingras. Yannick, first of all, congratulations on a great night.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's one of those nights that you want to do good. You work hard all year to get to this point, so it's nice that the fillies all showed up.
The fillies all showed up. You are my candy girl. Impressive performance by her. We talk about a little bit about her. She's been so dominant lately. Talk to us a little bit about, she was a big mile in that Great Lady. Was that kind of a breakthrough mile for her, or has she just been this strong all season long?
She was very, very good. I didn't drive her, and she was a great lady. So, by the way, thank you, Mr. Donovan, for putting me back up. But no, it wasn't a breakthrough. I really thought I had the 2 best filly to drive in that race, and I picked the other filly. But this filly, they're both top fillies, obviously. But this filly's kept on getting better and better. But in New York, she put some big miles. She went in 54 at Saratoga. I think it was her second start or something. And she had the plugs in, and it was a track record, and she was very impressive then, too.
Yeah, you talk about her last couple miles. She's been on the front end. Talk to us a little bit about, maybe what her best suit is, what her strongest suit is. She looks like she's easy to rate. She looks like she can leave if you want to. Talk to us a little bit about maybe what you think her best quality is.
Last week she wasn't. Last week she was on her own. She was a loose horse. I tried to get her in the hole for a little bit, and she didn't want no part of that. Tonight she was 2-finger. Ronnie warmed her up a little bit different, and she was absolutely perfect. I could have done anything I wanted with her. And when I did race her at Saratoga, I raced her from the back, and she paced by horses really fast. So, I mean, obviously it was the monkey was on my back, so I took the chance to go to the front, but she can do any which way I want.
You got a little bit of a breather down the back.
All right, so there you have it. What a night for him. 3 wins here tonight.
I don't think he cares that he's got the track all over him. He can get that hosed off. But Yannick Gingras, again, one of the best in the business. Couldn't be happier for him.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for your time. Okay, let's send it out to Laura Steele for some final thoughts. Laura.
Thank you, AC. Yeah, leave it to me to find the shopping, the merchandise. In harness racing, it all comes down to the merch. They got the shot glasses, they got a nice sweatshirt, blankets, hats. It's been a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm going to go spend some money now.
All right, Laura, thank you so much. Peter, always good seeing you, my friend. And thank you, folks at home, for watching. Don't forget, we're back here tomorrow, 9 o'clock live here on Wish TV from Hoosier Park for more prestigious harness racing here from Anderson, Indiana. The Breeders' Crown right here on Wish TV. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Up next, 24-hour News 8 at 10.